In today's episode, you'll meet 4 English learners from different parts of the world. Each of them could understand English really well, songs, movies, conversations. But when it came to speaking, things were different. You'll hear what they went through, how they felt, and what small change, finally, helped them start speaking with confidence. After that, I'll share why this problem is so common and exactly what you can do to overcome it. Let's start.
Hi, I'm Diego from São Paulo, Brazil. I could understand every English song and football interview. I knew the words, the phrases, everything. But when my Canadian friend came to visit, I couldn't speak. I just smiled and said, yes, yes. It was embarrassing. After he left, I decided something had to change. So I started recording myself on my phone, just 1 minute a day, talking about my day. When I listened, I thought, wow, my pronunciation sounds strange. So I looked up how native speakers said the same words and copied them. Every week, I made a new recording, and I could actually hear my progress. It became my little English diary. 3 months later, I met my friend again. And this time, I talked a lot. My secret is simple. Record and repeat. Don't be afraid to hear your own voice. When you listen to yourself, you really learn faster.
Hi, my name's Maria, and I'm from Madrid, Spain. For many years, I studied English at school, was a good student, always got high marks, always understood my teachers, could follow songs and movies easily. But when it was time to speak and nothing came out, my mind went blank, my hands shook, my face turned red, wanted to say something, but my tongue just froze. One day, I saw a YouTube video about a method called shadowing. It said, listen and repeat at the same time. I thought, alright, I can try that. So every morning, I listened to short podcast clips, just 5 or 10 seconds long. I played one line, paused, and repeated it again and again. At first, it was awkward, my voice sounded strange. But after a week, my mouth started to move faster. After 2 weeks, I felt more confident. I stopped translating, the words began to flow like music. Then one morning, at work, a tourist asked me for directions in English. And guess what? I answered easily. I was so happy, I almost cried. Now I still shadow every day, even 10 minutes helps. It connects my ears, my brain and my mouth like a team. So here's my tip, shadow short sentences every day. Don't wait for perfect grammar. Just listen, repeat and feel the rhythm. Soon, English will start to flow.
All right, let's start with the first reason. When you listen to English, your brain is actually working in a passive way. It's like sitting in the passenger seat of a car. You're moving, but you're not the one driving. You hear the sounds, you catch the words, and you understand what they mean. That's great, but speaking is different. Speaking is active. It's like taking the driver's seat yourself. You have to control everything, the words, the grammar, the pronunciation, all at once. So when you can understand English but can't speak it, it usually means your input is strong, your listening and comprehension are good. But your output, your speaking, hasn't had enough practice yet. You've trained your ears, but not your mouth. That's all it is. You understand English because you've heard it a lot. You can't speak because you haven't used it enough. And that brings us to the second reason, fear. A very common one. Many learners are simply afraid to make mistakes. You might think, what if I sound silly? What if people laugh at me? But that fear, it freezes your brain. It stops the words before they even reach your mouth. You know that moment when your body just freezes? Yeah, that happens to so many learners. But remember this, even native speakers make mistakes. All the time. Small errors are part of real conversation. Fluency doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from practice. So don't wait for perfect grammar. Wait for connection. If the person you're talking to understands you, that's already success. Now let's move to the third reason. Many learners still translate before they speak. You think in your own language first and then try to turn it into English. But English doesn't always follow the same order or logic. And while you're still thinking, the conversation just moves on. So, how do you fix this? You start thinking directly in English. Start small. When you wake up, describe your morning. I'm getting up. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. When you go out, describe what you see. The sky is blue. There's a man walking his dog. The bus is late. You can say it silently in your mind. No one will even notice. The more you think in English, the faster. Your brain connects words and ideas. You stop translating. You start communicating. You stop translating and you start communicating. Now, another reason is really simple. You just don't speak enough. Most learners spend hours reading and listening, but only a few minutes actually talking. And think about it. You can't become a good swimmer by just watching videos about swimming. You've got to get in the water. Speaking works exactly the same way. You need to open your mouth even when you're alone. Talk to yourself about your day in English. Read a short text out loud. Record your voice for 1 minute and listen back. Even 5 minutes of speaking a day is way more powerful than 2 hours of silent study. And here's the next reason. You might understand English words, but you haven't repeated them enough to use them automatically. Understanding a word once isn't enough. You need to hear it, read it, say it, and write it many times before it feels natural. Repetition is the bridge from understanding to fluency. So when you learn a new word or phrase, don't just look at it once. Say it out loud 3 or 4 times. Then make a short sentence with it. Use it in real life. Your goal isn't just to know the word, it's to own it. Now, let's talk about something. Really important, active listening. Passive listening is when you play English in the background while you're cooking, cleaning, or walking. That's okay. It keeps your ears familiar with the sounds. But it won't make you fluent. Active listening, on the other hand, means you focus. You listen carefully and you repeat what you hear. We call this shadowing. You listen to a native speaker and copy everything. Their rhythm, their tone, their stress. For example, if you hear, "How's it going?" you repeat it right away. "How's it going?" This connects your ears to your mouth. It helps you feel the music of English. Now, sometimes the reason you struggle isn't fear or grammar. It's simply speed. Your listening brain and your speaking brain are like two different teams. One receives the information, the other produces it. At first, these two teams don't work together very well. So when someone asks you a question, you understand it, your listening team is fast, but your speaking team needs a few extra seconds to find the right words. That delay? Totally normal. The more you practice both skills together, the faster your brain will switch from understanding to speaking. That's why even short, daily conversation practice helps so much. Think of it like building a little bridge between your two teams. Every time you use English, that bridge becomes stronger and stronger. Some people might say, "I'm just not good at languages." But that's not true. Speaking isn't about talent. It's about habit. If you speak a little English every day, one day it will come naturally. Fluency doesn't happen in a single big moment. It grows quietly, step by step, through small daily actions. Listening, repeating, thinking in English, and not giving up. Even if you're just talking to yourself, you're building the muscles for fluency. So, my friend, if you understand English, but can't speak yet, remember there's nothing wrong with you. You just need time. You just need practice. You just need courage. Your brain already knows the language. Now it's time to let your mouth join the team. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start speaking today to yourself, to your phone, to your friends, to anyone. Because the only way to really learn speaking is to speak. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Talk Fluent. I'm Sara, and I know you can do this. Keep speaking, keep learning, and keep your English flowing. Bye for now.